Welcome back to Factory Sealed. It is January 3rd, 2016. My name is Eric Peterson. Joining me today, Mr. Yomragan.
Hey. Hey, guys.
We've got Daniel Curtis.
I'm still laughing at you.
And
Tell me I have to call you firstborn, Yom. No.
I can't believe that made it into 2016.
Oh, it's going to make it to 2017.
No.
We've got...
You'll be getting married one day, Tommy. You'll go, Yom Reagan.
Oh, don't. What a nightmare.
The more proper name to adjust with the soft J would be Jess Clarkson, who's also here.
Truth.
Jessica.
Jessica.
But that's an actual name.
Is it?
Yeah, it might just be in the Mexican culture, Jessica, but it's actually spelled with a Y.
Is that for people who can't spell?
No, it's for people from Mexico.
Because they don't have a J, right?
No,
Their J
it's a
is
Y
an
sound.
H.
Well, kind of, yeah.
I used to get Desica.
Desica?
Yeah.
Like what you write on? Like a desk?
Yeah. It was awful.
Okay.
Why did you used to look like a desk?
Yep.
Jesus Christ. What a question. I mean...
That's the only reason I can think of.
Did you used to draw on yourself?
Yeah.
Did you used to stick bubble gum under your armpits?
Ooh.
I did.
Save it for later.
And I was like super flat too, so that works out.
Thanks, Jess.
No problem.
I think we can confidently say that we haven't got any more intelligent over the Christmas break.
No, I mean, 2 weeks off or a week off really allowed us to store up the potential stupidity, and it just came shitting out right there.
Yeah.
How was everybody's Christmas and New Year's?
Very festive, very nice.
Yeah?
Yes.
A bit of Christmas,
Yes.
a bit of New Year's?
Yes.
Yeah.
They both happened.
Yeah. That's quite the British way to respond. Yes, they both happened.
The weather was rubbish.
Is the flooding over?
No.
No.
It's not.
Nope.
My
There's more flooding.
goodness.
I'm actually standing in a feet of water right now.
Just have all your electrical cords floating on sandals.
There's a duck just chilling over there.
Has it not snowed there yet?
What?
What?
Oh, I can't even say it normally now.
Can you say the word what?
What?
There you go. Do it again.
What?
What?
I can't deal.
It's nice that you're teaching me things, Eric. Thanks.
I mean, it's hard.
I'm very concerned about how Allie's going to talk now.
Oh, she's what?
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 See? Now you're sounding like a sassy American girl. So that's it. It's just that they happened over the holidays. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh.
pretty much. My grandmother got a bit drunk as usual and made a fool of herself.
Seriously?
She always does. It's hilarious.
Drunk grandparents are the
amazing.
best.
What? Honestly, right? 1 year, it must be about 5 years ago now, but we always talk about it. My gran, actually, she was so drunk. She started walking out of the room and she just completely fell arse over tit into all the presents. And then she picked herself slightly up off the ground. So she was kneeling down on the ground. And she looked up bleary eyed and she went, "Have I fallen over?" And then, honestly, right, she started shouting at my granddad because he didn't catch her. He was over the other end of the room eating his Christmas dinner.
Have I
That's
fallen
amazing.
over? So proper.
Only at Geordie Shore.
My
Geordie.
dad laughed for about 3 hours.
Were they his parents or your mom's parents?
Yes, his parents.
That's awesome.
And Tom, you'll know what this is. This year, my dad, a couple of years back, got a Bruce Forsyth mask for Christmas. And there's a picture of my gran with it on this year. It's so funny.
Oh, God.
Why would he get a Bruce
you guys
Forsyth
don't-
mask?
Do you not know who Bruce Forsyth is?
Well, he's a TV guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's like basically dead, and he's still around.
That's amazing.
He's just got this hilarious mask, and there's just this picture of my gran with it on, but she's got her hands up in like kind of an old lady pose. And just
He looks like the guy from the Wild Thornberries.
He's got a huge chin.
Yeah. Is this the mask?
Oh, God, he's 87 years old.
Oh my god, that's terrifying.
That's
Is
the one.
The eyes.
That's the
The eyes.
Well, you have to have something to see through.
I know,
Yeah.
but they just look like dead zombie eyes until. Ugh.
Honestly, when people have it on, it is hilarious. It's so funny.
God.
Yeah, so that's what happened at Christmas, really.
The Curtis household.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a pretty wild sickness rip through our family over Christmas.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've been
dear.
sick as well.
Well,
I'm
we went
still
back
sick now.
to Wisconsin, and Christmas Eve, everything was fine, and then the next day, about half the people that were at Christmas Eve got violently ill. But fortunately, we dodged that bullet.
What did you do?
I crapped in the chili.
Oh god, now I'm picturing like, oh god.
Hope you're not having
don't
chili
don't
anytime
picture
soon.
that. Move on.
No.
No, keep picturing it.
I'm actually having a chili
Finally.
later.
Not
Completely
anymore.
ruined. Yeah.
Sucks to be
You
good.
know that at some point during dinner that's going to cross your mind. Be like, oh,
As you see the corn.
Oh,
who puts corn in their chili?
Like everyone?
Canadians.
Cornbread, but not corn.
No, like corn. Like little
Sweet-
corn kernelies.
sweet corn?
No, field
No, like
corn for
canned
the
corn?
deer.
Yeah, like
No,
the yellow
popcorn.
stuff.
You put that in, right?
Yeah, and then it pops and it's beautiful. No, just like frozen corn.
And then you go to the cinema and eat it.
The
Yeah.
bowl of chili popcorn.
That could work. You get all those gourmet popcorn flavors now. Jess, get on that.
It's true.
Trademark
True
it.
story.
Have
Would be a
some gourmet
millionaire.
popcorn. Have some biscuits.
Cookies.
Oh, God, not again.
The Great Biscuit Debate of 2015 continues.
Thought we
Into
settled it.
2060.
That debate will never be solved.
No.
Tom, I hear you almost lost your eardrums.
Oh, yeah, I did. It felt that way anyway. Because
Where did
I've been
they
really
go?
ill over Christmas.
Oh.
I got a cold on Christmas Eve and I've still got it today.
Mr. Tom.
Did you get a sexy voice like Jess? Yes.
No, I didn't actually.
I thought
no,
I was.
no benefit at all.
That was so sexy. You sound like a...
I thought for sure I was getting a sexy voice, but then I managed to get better.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then
man.
basically my sinuses were all blocked, and then we were flying back to London, and then as the plane was losing altitude and coming into land, everything just expanded in my head
You
to the
make
point
it
where
sound like
my
your plane crashed. Yeah, we were just losing altitude. I think the proper term is
Okay, not-
descending.
not losing altitude, but yeah, we were descending. Yeah, and everything just caved in my head because there were no any pathways for the air to go as we descended. So
I
Is
had
this
kind
your
of
first time on a plane?
Jess,
Huh?
have you ever flown with a stuffy nose?
No,
It's
my
really
eardrums
bad.
like are in so much pain all the time when I fly. It's crazy.
Well, I had my sinuses blocked when we were coming down, and my ears wouldn't pop. And finally, I got sick of it, so I just blew my nose, and my ears felt like they just exploded, but it felt instantly better.
I I think that was the problem.
It hurt. Like, I was writhing in pain. It hurt so bad, but my ears weren't blocked anymore.
Crystal always gets really bad ears when she flies. She when we went to France, she actually went deaf for a night.
Like, completely deaf?
Oh she couldn't hear anything.
Apparently there are some things that you can get.
We're going to Australia in April, so that'll help.
Oh, good.
She'll probably spend the 3 weeks just not being able to hear.
I'll find you. They have like earplugs that you wear that help pressurize. That I'll Google and give you a link for them because apparently they work really well.
I think it'll be all right, Jess. To be honest, she doesn't like flying, so she'll probably be on a cocktail of drugs and just be out of it for the entire flight.
She doesn't have to listen to me for the entire trip, so she's good.
You guys are going in April?
April, correct.
Tom, there's like less than 12 weeks until you come to the wonderful land of America again.
I know. It's crazy. My brother got me, he didn't know what to buy me for Christmas, so he gave me $100 in cash. And was like, there you go. That's for March.
Go blow
That's
it
awesome.
in one slot machine.
Probably last me one night in Vegas, to be honest.
Not if we employ
use it to buy
our
biscuits.
infinite drinking scheme again.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Just penny slots all the way.
It worked for Jess and I.
And we did it the whole week.
Yeah, oh, God.
Who knows how many Bud Lights I had.
Gross. Of all the beers you could have chosen, you drank Bud Light.
We also had the Sam's.
Sam
Boston's.
Adams.
That's
good. That's a good choice.
It's a great beer.
Did you guys just overindulge in food over this past week or the past 2 weeks, and now your body's just kind of trying to get back to normal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Too much chocolate.
Too much of everything, and now that
I have a pile of chocolate in my kitchen. It's just not going down. It's just, I swear it grows overnight.
Well, are you eating it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say it's not going to go down if you don't eat it.
You reckon?
We did like a Christmas Eve appetizer thing, which was nice because it wasn't as like heavy as turkey.
So what do you guys eat on Christmas?
We had pork tenderloin this year.
What?
Huh.
What?
Because you guys eat turkey for Thanksgiving, so you never have turkey for Christmas.
We eat turkey for Christmas. We usually do turkey and ham.
Why would you eat turkey on Christmas?
Are you serious?
That's
what
what
you're
you
supposed to
do.
eat.
It's Thanksgiving.
No.
You only have turkey once a year?
Well, Christy and I eat ground turkey instead of ground beef. But
No, but like a big like roasted turkey.
oh yeah, only Thanksgiving.
Oh,
That's so weird.
Stop getting Christmas wrong.
Christmas.
What do you usually eat on Christmas then? What
It's
is like your
supposed to be
Christmas-
like a spiral cut ham.
That's it?
Huh?
Yeah, just put a big old ham on the
so
table.
backwards. Why do you ruin everything?
So what? Well, you guys don't have Thanksgiving because
We didn't.
yeah,
Destroy.
We
Whatever.
didn't destroy.
you didn't invade an indigenous people.
But Eric, do people care more about Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Christmas, hands down.
Really?
Just
Them
get rid of
gifts, yo, them
Thanksgiving
gifts.
and just have a turkey on Christmas like normal people.
I don't think we've ever, in the history of my entire family, had turkey on Christmas.
Is that common? Because I kind of feel like you're weird and making it up.
I don't know though, because Thanksgiving's like just a few days before, isn't it?
Well, by a few
like a month.
days, I mean it's
A couple of weeks.
yeah,
It's like a month, isn't
yeah,
it?
It's about a month beforehand.
Would you want a roast turkey again though?
No,
Yes.
it's too big of an ordeal.
We had beef one Christmas.
My grandma. So
Really?
over here, Christmas cookies are a big deal, really big deal. I mean, there's a very specific type of recipe that everybody makes, and my grandma had this big plate of them out.
They have pot in them.
Close. But my grandma had a big plate of them out, and she always made the best ones. I'm like, sweet, grandma made Christmas cookies this year. So we're all sitting around having Christmas and chit-chatting. And I take a bite of this cookie, and something's off. And I'm trying to be polite about it. I mean, I could have told my grandma it tasted like garbage, and she wouldn't have cared. But I'm trying to be polite about it. I'm like, I can't. So I look at her and say, Grandma, did you change the recipe on this? And she goes, oh, yeah, those are maple bacon Christmas cookies this year.
Yeah.
Gross. They were not
I
good.
made them with bacony mayonnaise.
Why would Grandma change the recipe after all these years?
Because she saw the box for some sort of recipe improvement at the grocery store and said, maybe I'll try that this year.
See, I find it bizarre that you have maple syrup with bacon. That is just wrong on so many
it's so
levels.
nice.
Oh, it's
so
good.
good.
When you get a big plate of pancakes and sausage and bacon, you just slather syrup over it.
Yeah.
Do you not have maple flavored bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that was the first thing we did when I went to New York, was tried the maple syrup and bacon combination, which I was confident would be terrible, and it was amazing.
Just
so good.
Don't do the chicken and waffles combo. That's disgusting.
Oh, God, that sounds terrible.
Yeah. Apparently,
See, but we get potato waffles, which go cracking with chicken.
Gross.
Yeah, we don't do waffles with chicken.
There's a whole restaurant chain down here dedicated to it. It's called Lolo's Chicken and Waffles.
Well, that sounds depressing.
It's very depressing.
Oh.
You guys do anything special for New Year's?
We stayed in.
I went to Cambridge.
Oh, yeah.
What did you do there?
We went punting.
What is punting? You didn't explain that to me. Did you kick a football? You
The
sent me a
best way
picture
I
of a boat.
Yeah, that's what punting is. So
What?
That's boating.
No, you know in Venice when you have the guy with the stick who rows you
gondola.
along? Yeah. That's punting.
No, that's rowing.
That's
No,
gondola.
rowing is when you sit in the boat and row.
And you row, but whatever.
So what is punting then? Like, explain the action of punting to me.
So everybody sits in the boat, and then you have a dude who stands at the end of the boat, and he has a gondola, and he gives you a little tour and rows you around the
So you go for a boat
down
ride.
the river. Yeah, basically, yeah. But I don't know.
So you
maybe
go
it's,
boating.
but
What's
no,
the
it's
difference
not.
between a gondola and a punting?
And a punter is the guy that
I
does the punt.
I don't understand.
So would you in the boat be the punter who's punting on a punt?
Or
Can
the
anybody
punting.
else
no,
feel the
listen.
brain dying?
So the punt itself is the boat. It's a flat-bottomed boat, and it's designed for little, like, short rivers.
So it's a gondola or a gondola.
It's like punting refers to boating in a punt.
Who says gondola?
Is this like a super fancy England thing?
Well, I need to see a
It's
difference
Cambridge.
between a gondola and a punt.
It's a gondola.
Just look up a punt.
Punts and passengers in Cambridge.
And it's only in Cambridge.
I would just like to say, as a fellow Englishman, I've never heard of this.
Okay, I'm looking at a picture here, and a gondola is more like an elongated, skinny canoe, whereas a punt just looks like a flat board.
If we
Yeah.
check the retro
That's what it
boats,
is.
Yeah,
But
this is
you
the
can
Factory
only-
Sealed Boating Podcast.
You can pretty much only punt in Oxford or Cambridge, I think, in the UK.
Why?
Well,
There's
couldn't you technically punt anywhere
because-
there's water? Like a puddle?
Only if you brought the punting boat with you.
Well,
but
does a
there-
punting boat have to be a certain size?
Yeah, to qualify as a punt, I think it does. Yeah, it has to be able to hold like 10 people, I think.
It's a lot of punters.
Yeah, and then they take you through down the river, and you get to look at all the really old buildings and stuff from Cambridge.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So wait, if
it's
you're
a nice place.
Looking at this picture, the guy with the big stick,
Yeah.
would he be the punter and you would be a puntee?
According to Wikipedia, it's called a punt pole.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that just sounds wrong.
You got the punt pole, the punt boat, and maybe I guess the punter, the guy that stands,
And then the puntees.
and then the
Did he wear a
puntees. Why
snazzy
not?
boating hat?
I wore my coat and a scarf.
Did anyone fall overboard? Were there any punts overboard?
No, there's a couple of babies on board. They were held close to the
baby punties.
We had an American child on board who kept asking loads of questions and being really obnoxious.
Oh,
that's
typical
awesome.
American.
And everyone just looked at each other and was just
well,
like...
maybe he was the type that was asking the questions that everybody was thinking, but you guys are all too high-strung to ask a question and reveal
Probably
that he's not
Was he
really...
asking about biscuits?
But they're asking stupid questions. We're just sitting there relaxing.
Like what?
Like, what is the punt? What is the punt?
Or like, just the kid was just asking questions like, I heard that some evil lords live in this building, and the guy's like, oh yeah, definitely. Someone throw this kid overboard right now.
I heard that you guys call cookies biscuits.
Sinners.
What you've heard is true.
So why is
I recommend punting.
Why is the punt pole so long if the water is really shallow? Because the punt
you need
has to be shallow.
You need to really get the pole in at an angle, like not straight, so that you can really push
this
hard.
Is sounding extremely wrong.
Yeah. So push really hard with your pole, and then
for deeper penetration.
Then pull it up and out.
So
then
you have
back,
to go super deep too, right?
Then back in as deep as you can go, that feels comfortable with the pole. Then back up again, then in, then back up again, and out. And
is there any
just keep
twirling?
going. Not
twirling's optional, Eric.
Oh, okay. I mean, that could be some high level punting.
You have to pay more for that one.
That one's not on the menu.
What is the temperature there right now, though? Because I feel like wouldn't it be
was
freezing?
actually it was really sunny that day, but it was pretty cold. So they gave us blankets to put over our legs.
Oh,
it's a lovely place. Good
What
place
is
to
really
go with
cold
your
there?
girlfriend.
mild winter this year though. It's still quite warm.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
I'm going to open a punting business in Arizona.
You'd make so much money.
Do you guys have any water?
Desert punting.
Okay.
We're just going to sit on a punt boat in the sand and kind of push ourselves around. Or I'll put wheels on it. We'll have motorized punts.
Yeah.
I'd pay $1 for that.
Oh, deal. I'm going to strike that business up right now. Right next to proper bollocks.
So yes, I recommend it.
Well, I'm glad that punting was good for you.
Yeah. Cambridge is a nice place.
Was it good for Kat, though?
Oh, yeah, she loved it. But she was cold.
Oh.
Just as usual. Always cold.
Well, we had some pretty massive storms hit the Midwest, and we were fortunate to avoid all of them. We actually cut our trip a day short and headed back up to the Twin Cities, and we got to the airport, and all of these people were delayed or their flights were canceled, and people whose flights were canceled, we were there on the 30th. They weren't able to rebook until the 3rd or the 4th of January. That's how far behind they were. But our plane was right on time.
We had insanely warm temperatures. Like on Christmas, it was like 14 degrees probably. Like I was wearing a t-shirt. It was crazy. Like no jacket.
Jeez.
It was insanely warm.
I forgot to pack socks when I went back to Wisconsin.
Oh no.
So I had to go to the store, and I didn't want to pay a ton for socks that I'd probably never wear. So I just want to spend like $5. So I went to the novelty socks section. Ended up getting a pair of American flag socks and bright blue socks with pink flamingos on them, and that's what I wore the whole trip.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
Made Christmas more fun.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So.
Well, did you guys get any gaming related presents?
I didn't get any games this year, no. Because I bought all of them before Christmas.
That must be a first.
I used Fallout as a Christmas gift as well.
But you got it before.
That, my birthday. That counted for both of those.
The only gaming related stuff I got a bunch of PSN money, and then my sister got me a Dr. Mario Japanese amiibo. And then Christy bought me some artwork from a guy who, I've got a lot of his art, but it's like a dual series of bosses and heroes His name is Justin Hillgrove. Let's see if I can find his link. But yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Nice.
I got completely other side of the spectrum, got loads of games. So,
Ooh.
Well, yeah, because you didn't want to buy them yourself.
yeah, well, that's what Christmas is
Here are the
for.
pictures that Christy got. Oh, wait, hold on.
The only game I got was Until Dawn, which I haven't played yet.
There. Those are the ones Christy got me.
Oh, Eric, I
Really
wanted
cool.
to talk to you about Just Cause 3 because that game is hilarious.
Oh, I've got a buddy in town right now that he and I have always played Just Cause 2 together, and that's constantly what we've been playing for the past 2 days. The game's a freaking blast.
I laughed so much. You know when it first installs and you can go adventure on that island?
Yeah.
The first thing I did was grapple hooked two goats together, and then pressed L2 and they just rocketed towards each other and collided, and I was just laughing.
It gets better because you can actually upgrade and get up to 6 tethers. You have unlimited C4, and you can get up to 5 of those, and you can put rocket boosters on them. So last night we would put 5 rocket boosters on a cow, and then for some reason everything in that game has infinite weight until it dies, and then it becomes super, super light. So if you put a rocket booster on a cow, it won't go anywhere till you shoot it or you kick it and it falls over. But you put these rocket boosters on there, and you can modify them so the boosters become twice as powerful and they burn twice as long, and they just go sailing around up into the sky and doing loops and just explodes in a crowd of people. But there's a gun that you need to look for. It's an homage to GoldenEye's DK mode where you have big heads, and you can pick up this gun called the DK pistol, and when you shoot people, it makes their head super big, and then when they die, they float up into the sky. So what
That's
I did
hilarious.
is I would shoot people with a normal gun, they'd die. I'd tether them to my car, and then I'd shoot their heads so that they'd inflate, and I had 6 tethers, and I'd just be driving around town with 6 inflatable dead bodies floating above my car.
I was just amazed that I was able to play Just Cause 3 through my PlayStation via yours.
Oh, yeah. We actually we tried out
full
the share
HD.
play, and it worked.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was crazy.
We tried it on my internet and it did not.
Oh, your internet's toilet.
Like there was a little bit of input lag, but it wasn't bad. That was like ridiculous.
But yeah,
Poor
Just
world
Cause
we
is
live
one of those games that just gets better and better as you play it. It's pretty thin on the story, but who the hell plays it for the story?
Nobody.
No.
I haven't had a lot of time to play my new games. I've been trying to finish Rogue Galaxy.
So should we let's dive into the meat of this show here. We didn't play a game for this week. We thought it might be better to do a best of 2015, but in typical factory sealed fashion, we're going to do it differently or not correctly. And instead of just choosing our favorite games that came out in 2015, we're just going to do our list of favorite games that we actually played in 2015, because I think there were some pretty important firsts for a lot of us, that older games we finally got around to playing that I think made a pretty big impact this year. So how many games did you guys compile for your lists?
Like how many made the list?
Yeah. We didn't really set a number. We just said your favorite games.
But I would just like to say that when I came up with a list of all of the games that I had played, I had like a 50% completion rate, which is a lot better than I think you would have said. So,
Yeah, but
Do you realize if you don't add them all together, right? So if you did 10% of every game, that doesn't count as 50%.
yes, it does.
no, it doesn't. I think I ended up with 12.
I just had
I did
10.
7.
Well, as you can see, we have no standards of conformity here.
I'm pretty sure Tom and I did it right.
I don't think so.
Just
I
the top
completely
10.
forgot what I played, so I just did 7.
No. I actually went back through our games that we played and chose from there.
That's what I did, and I
There
feel
were
like we
very few new games that came out this year that made my top list.
Oh yeah,
One,
there was only one, I think, for me.
two,
One.
3 for
Two.
me. 4.
Oh,
So, yeah. How do we want to do this? How do we want to break it down?
no.
Well, let's not all come up with ideas at once.
I'm glad we've really planned this.
How long have you been a part of this show, Jeff? When do we
Well,
plan?
Jess,
anything?
what did you have as your 10th?
Yeah, we'll start from the bottom.
Well, I have 12.
Okay, so you start.
So my number 12 was Crash Team Racing.
Good choice.
Mainly because of the impact that it had on our show. I was not expecting to like this game nearly as much as I did. And the fact that it beat out Diddy Kong, it earned a spot on my list.
That's fair enough. That deserves to be
I like
on your
it.
list.
I will admit to Dan that it is one of the best kart racing games out there still to this day.
Thank you.
You can admit that to me too. I think it's the best car racing game.
I'm not going to admit that to you.
Fine. One day.
I think you did,
One day.
though.
No, I admitted it to Dan.
Okay. On air. In front of
Give it
everyone,
up.
but whatever.
Give it.
No. Tom wasn't supposed to be listening to that.
Your mouth.
Number
I don't
11
listen
for
anyway.
me, I had as Just Cause 3.
Really?
That's quite high.
I thought it would have been higher for you.
I thought it would have as well, but there's some other really big stuff on my list. I mean, Just Cause, it's great. It's explosions. It's a ton of fun. It's just a huge sandbox. But in terms of like impact of gaming, I was torn between putting it at 11 or 10, but I think at this point on the list, it doesn't really matter. It's great. It's a ton of fun. I wouldn't say it's the best game of the year, though.
See, I thought I didn't put it on mine because I haven't played enough to justify doing it yet.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. Go ahead.
What was 10?
Number 10 for me was Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Of course.
Okay.
Again, I would have thought you would put that higher.
I was thinking about that too, but it's nothing that we haven't already seen in the form of Mega Man Anniversary Collection from a couple generations ago. It's basically just a rehashing of Mega Man, but the reason that I put it so low on the list is because I think it actually took the series a step backwards in terms of traditional gameplay, because it included the ability to do actual save states on there. And to me, that was actually more of a detriment because it made the games much easier.
Yeah.
So for new audiences, it's
you didn't
great.
have to use it.
No, but still, whenever I play Mega Man on an emulator, I always succumb to using save states simply because it's like, all right, this is here, let's do this. Whereas if you don't have that option and you're playing it on there, I mean, think about if you were to be playing a Souls game, Dan, and you had the ability to save right before a boss and then
That
just
would be
reload that.
cheating.
Exactly. So that's the way I feel about Mega Man. I think it
But I
opens.
feel like it's a
I understand your
convenience
plight.
thing.
Good analogy there.
It is a convenience thing. But for me, Mega Man has always been about memorizing the level and getting to the boss with as much health and as many lives as possible, to only find out that you chose the wrong order and just get your butt kicked. I don't like being able to just save state and just throw yourself at a brick wall over and over and over and over and over until you finally beat it. So it's good. I think they did a lot of really cool things with it. I like the challenge mode. It wasn't enough to really continually keep me coming back. So, I mean, it's still on my list, just not as high as it probably could have been.
Fair.
Fair.
What was your 10, Jess?
Dan's gonna be irritated. I did Crash Team Racing and Mario Kart Wii because
You can't have two.
They tied for 10th.
Did you say Mario Kart Wii?
Yes. Which is not what we played, and I know that.
No, but it's a game you played this year, so that's fine.
Yeah, because these were probably like the only games, not the only games, but Andrew and I got the most play out of these games together, which I thought was really fun. So that's why I included them.
I don't think I've ever played Mario Kart Wii.
Didn't that come with the stupid wheel that wasn't really
Yeah.
any point to?
But it makes you feel cool.
Or makes you look like an idiot. I've been playing a ton of
Whatever.
Mario Kart 8. Holy cow, that game is fun.
Yeah.
It is an absolute blast.
I've only played a couple of hours of it, but it was fun.
It's difficult. Once you get up above the 150cc or the 100cc, it's so hard. I mean, the AI in that is just unforgiving. That's the one thing I don't like about the Mario Kart series, though, and I think we talked about, was just the extensiveness of the rubber banding of the AI.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're on the harder levels or the harder CCs, it's impossible to stay out in front.
Well, I think if you have like a minor mishap, you're like done.
Yeah, and it always happens on the last corner of the last lap.
It always happens when there's no walls.
Yes.
Off the edge I go.
I like the customization that they've put into it, though. You can change your cart and your wheels and your kite, and every cart has different characteristics. The wheels have different characteristics. I think there's a lot more to it, and I think that's something that the Mario Kart series has been missing.
Still not as good as Crash Team Racing.
Well, Crash Team Racing hasn't done a game since, so
It
And
has
what was
actually.
the... Really?
Crash Bash.
Uh-huh. No, there was. I think there's 2 sequels.
Well, they must not have been very good.
No, we never know.
No.
Might have been.
Tom, what was your number 10?
It was Crash Team Racing.
Wow.
So
We were all pretty
Yeah.
consistent there.
Yeah.
yeah, there was the same kind of reasons. I mean, I hadn't played it for years before we decided to match it up with Mario Kart and Diddy Kong, and I actually went as far as finishing it too. So
Well, I think that was the
Awesome.
important factor for me, too, is actually finishing it, because I'd only ever played it as a group game with a couple other people, and they were so much better at it that it just pissed me off. I'm like, well, this game's not very fun,
Finally, an explanation.
because I was bad at it.
finally, yeah. So yeah, that one came in at my first one.
Well, hey, Dan, just be proud that it made everybody's list.
I am. Well done, everyone. Thank you.
Number 9 for me, Popolo Croix.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It was, it's, if you've been listening to the shows that Tom and I have been doing on it, it was a surprising game. I've started it multiple times, but I always gotten sidetracked, and it's just a fantastic, easily accessible JRPG. Or not even JRPG, it's just a standard tactics RPG.
Yeah, it's a nice hybrid between the two.
Just a cutesy little game that it's not too difficult. It's very pick up and go. You can sit and play through one chapter in an hour and a half and get your fix and come back to it. I've actually been super engaged in the story, and we're not quite done with it. I think I've got about an hour left, but I think I played enough of it to throw it on my list and say this is one of the best games I've played this year. It's right along the... I mean, I haven't played a game this cutesy since Ni no Kuni, and I've kind of been waiting to scratch that
I'm looking
itch.
forward to Ni no Kuni 2 so much.
Oh, so am I.
Okay.
Jess,
Even though
what's
the
your-
main character looks like a girl and he's a boy, which is confusing.
Well, welcome to Japanese art style.
Maybe you should stop putting your gender norms on people, Dan.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Guys
Let
are
them live their
guys,
life.
girls are girls.
9 for me. It's going to make me sound like I'm totally sucking up, but Actual Sunlight. I
It
really
actually made
liked
you
it.
sound like death.
I know, shh. But yeah,
I had
just-
that game on my honorable mentions list. I thought about throwing it up there.
Yeah.
What was your reason for putting it at 9?
I think, and I don't know if I would have been as in love with it if we didn't have a chance to talk to Will O'Neill. I think that just kind of added and kind of pushed it up a little bit on my list. Because we got to hear more of the backstory of where it came from. And I really think that Misery loves company. And it was kind of nice to be like, oh yeah, my life sucks, but so does a lot of other people. So that's cool.
Well, I think that's interesting too, is that with the advent of social media, I think depression is far more prevalent because we look at everybody's lives and people forget to take into account that you're not seeing the whole picture of their life. You're just seeing their best moments. And everybody associates that, and they say, oh, well, they've got it so much better, and I don't have this, and I don't have that. And this was kind of that stark realization, like you said, of, oh, yeah, everybody else's life can kind of suck.
And I like that it was a Toronto-based game. And had
Speaking of which, did anybody do it? Did anybody do a really annoying? Sorry, Jess.
No worries.
Continue.
Oh, I was just gonna say Toronto. Like, it was awesome to talk about like the indie game scene in Toronto because that's a pretty big deal, and how it had TTC. It was just pretty cool.
What were you interrupting with, Dan?
I was just going to say, did anybody post one of those really annoying Facebook statuses about New Year?
No.
The Happy New Year thing? Or just...
What?
Just a retrospective on
where everybody was either going, oh, my 2015 sucked, and my 2015 was awesome. I'm like, I don't care. Go away.
Yeah, nobody cares.
Fishing for likes much?
I always feel really important on Facebook one day a year, and that's my birthday. Tom, your turn.
My number 9 was Ollie Ollie 2.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because...
Add that in my number 8.
We're not at 8 yet, Dan.
Sorry.
Before we moved house, we were just like packing everything up, and that was in the summer. And between packing, we would take a little break. And Ollie Ollie 2 is one of those kind of games you can just jump in, try the same level a dozen times, fail miserably, turn it off, come back to it. It had this real trial and error addiction to it.
Yeah, I love and hate that game simultaneously, Tom, just because it's so annoying.
Well, it scratched that Skate itch that Skate hasn't come out with a game for a long time, and I needed something. I just got frustrated with it.
I platinumed that game.
Really?
Really?
I put in God knows how many hours, and I didn't get a single trophy.
Wow.
I
don't even know how
platinumed it, I screenshotted, I tweeted it at the developers like they said, and then they sent me a congratulatory tweet.
Oh, nice.
Fish for likes much?
Yeah. Totally 100% of that game.
The game told me to do it.
Oh.
But each level had these little achievements to try and like complete the whole stage in one combo or grab certain items and things like that. And you just kept redoing over and over again. And you had the pro mode as well. So
pro mode was ridiculous.
It was stupidly hard.
When you get up to the higher levels on pro mode and you have to do the most complex tricks about 3 times in one run without bailing, it's just the hardest thing in the world. I honestly think I spent about 2.5 hours on one level.
God.
I actually destroyed my DualShock 4's analog sticks playing this game.
Shit.
That's nuts.
Seriously.
I think I destroyed
Seriously,
my
now
thumbs,
I
at
have
least.
protective covers on them, so... Because all the rubber wore away, because it obviously you're flicking it about everywhere. And it just...
It's cool. I love the music as well. Like everything about that game, the art style. It's like kind of like flat parallax backgrounds and stuff.
Well, that's another game we got for free on PSN, right?
It was. I did buy it actually, which was annoying.
I think I bought the first one and then it went free. So I'm just like, I'll wait for the second one to go free too.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my number 9.
Can I add a number 9 to my list as well? Actually,
Sure, Dan.
Super Meat Boy.
Oh, that game's just as frustrating.
It is, but I actually really like it as well.
It's a great game.
I was waiting for that to come on PSN for like forever.
I played it
finally did.
Me too.
I bought it on Steam years ago when it was like $1 or $2, and it was good.
Have you guys seen the indie film that follows the developers for that game?
Yeah, indie game movie.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
really cool. Yeah, it looks so stressful. The guy who's developing it keeps checking Xbox Live to see if his game's
Well, it was supposed to be on the front page, and it wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Just how pissed off you'd be. That's a great choice. Super Meat Boy.
So are we on to number 8?
Yes.
We are.
Yes.
I put at number 8 The Legend of Zelda: The Minish Cap.
Oh.
Oh, I forgot about Minish Cap.
You didn't get your shit together.
Can I add a number 10 to my list?
Add that one to my list as well.
God almighty. Put some thought into your work.
I've already done my list, guys.
I
It's
already published my
posted.
article ahead of time. Can I add more to it? Is that a good Dan accent?
Yeah.
It's great, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think this is one of the most underrated 2D Zelda games out there. It's easily one of my favorites up there with Link's Awakening, just because of how clever this game was. And we covered this game pretty in depth on, what did we spend, 2 shows on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just a phenomenal experience that I don't think enough people have played.
No.
The-
Jess actually finished this one, didn't you, Jess?
Shut up. I said I beat 50% of the games I played.
I
I
damn
thought
near...
you did beat it.
She did.
Yeah.
That's a great.
This is one that I ended up playing through twice because I corrupted my game save like 20 minutes before the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've beaten every single Zelda we've ever played.
Because they're that good.
Uh-huh.
I just
Played
think that
Skyward Sword yet, Eric?
I have not, but I'm going to get a copy of it now that I've got a Wii U.
Good.
I think that one of my favorite aspects of this is the ability to switch between the big and the small world, and how cleverly that's all done. And Zelda's always been this whole thing of like, they'll introduce a concept to you really early in the beginning of the game that you won't get to come back to until super late game, and they did that so well in this one that it's just such a fun game.
It was very good. Very, very good. I liked it.
Did this make anybody else's list?
Yes.
No.
Good, Jess. Is it number 8 for you as well?
No.
Ooh.
It is Suikoden.
Suikoden made my honorable mentions list.
See, I wasn't sure if I should include it because, like, I'm pretty sure I finished it
No,
in
you-
2014.
No, we
But-
finished it in 15.
Like, super early in 15, right?
Yeah, because we finished those shows up probably February.
Oh, okay.
Remember, we broke it up over like 8 shows.
Yeah. That were, like, 20 months apart.
Yes. Before Dan swooped in and saved the day.
Obviously.
You.
Yay.
Yay,
But,
Dan. Stroke the ego. Punt pull
What?
the ego.
I really liked it. I know we talked about it in a lot of depth, but I think it was the characters that really kind of pulled me in, because realistically the story wasn't super great. Like, there wasn't anything that was like, oh, this is so new, I haven't heard this before. But I just thought it was cool how in-depth the characters were and how many there were for...
I think that's important. Is it was a game that had 109 characters.
I said
Oh.
5,000 in the article.
Oh well, you're a little off.
But they were voiced as well.
No, this is a PS1 game. You've got
Oh, yeah, of course.
you've never played a Suikoden game?
No, I know Suikoden. I've not played any of them apart from.
The first one is pretty generic, like super generic, but it sets the stage for what I guess is the best RPG, or one of the best RPGs of the PS1 era. I mean, people hail Suikoden 2 as phenomenal.
Yeah.
But if you beat Suikoden 1, you can carry your game save over to Suikoden 2, and depending on which characters you bring to the end of the game physically with you, that affects which characters you have access to in Suikoden 2.
Really? I
That's
didn't know you
cool.
could do that back
Yeah.
in the day.
But it's a long, long game. I think we put in like 45, maybe 50 hours on it.
Quite possibly.
Jesus.
Yeah, they're big. Because if you want to get all of the characters, there's a lot of side mission crap you have to do.
In a very specific order.
Yeah. If you miss
Did you-
something, you're done.
Did you play it on PSN?
Yes, I actually played it on my
Okay.
Vita.
I played it on my
Nice.
PS3.
And I actually had given up on it until Jess texted me and said, hey, I beat it. No, we only
Good old
put.
Well,
competition.
there's a text that doesn't happen often.
I think we only put about 20 hours into it. Now that I look at how long the game is, but for the time, that was the longest game we'd played on the show yet.
I think my hours were like 45 to 50 because I left it on overnight one time by accident.
Oh yes, that's it.
But I want, because I have Suikoden 2 on my PS3 that I want to play this year.
That should be a goal. Then we'll play Suikoden 2.
Nice.
It looks
Game
like my
goals.
cup of tea.
Dan, what was your number 7? Now that we actually got to your actual list.
Is
I
it
think we
number
skipped
8?
Tom's number 8.
Oh, did we skip 8 for Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we are on 8. Never mind.
My number 8 was Life is Strange.
Ah!
I heard that actually pulled itself around in the end because some people were pretty torn on it, and then
Yeah.
it rounded out. And I was like, "This is good."
Yeah, you just start off as this annoying college kid who just says hello all the time and just is a typical teenager in a university, and she has the ability to mess with time, and every time you're changing time and changing events, that's altering the narrative slightly. And it was episodic and came out like it was a couple of months between each one, and I kept with it each time. Played through it with my girlfriend, and we were just like kind of theorizing as to what was going to happen next, what was going to happen to all these characters, and we kind of got really invested in this universe. And then in the middle, it kind of fell a bit to the side, like it just wasn't really gelling well, and we couldn't figure out what was going on, and it kind of lost its way. But then the 5th and final episode was just really fucked up and crazy, and loads of shit happened, and all the ends were just tied up, and you have this big decision to make at the end, which decides the ending. And I thought it was really cool, really good game.
I miss games like that because that was kind of how Christy and I experienced the Walking Dead games. And I think it was phenomenal. When those episodic games come out, they're worth playing as they come out instead of waiting because it gives you that gap of tension and anticipation.
Yeah.
It gives you the ability to talk to people about it.
So you say that though, but I the first Walking Dead series, I played through them back to back, and I loved doing that. And I was like, it just hooked me for like a week because it was just so good.
But did you...
That's what I'm doing now.
Have you played through an episodic game, Dan, alongside somebody else or with somebody watching that you had to wait for the next episode?
No.
Okay. So you can't really relate. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad to play them back to back because that's probably what I'm going to end up doing with the Borderlands games, but having that month or 2 months or 3 months between episodes, it's like waiting for the next episode of your favorite show to come out.
I was going to say, it's like
Yeah, but-
binging Netflix.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
hate mid-season breaks on the TV. It annoys me so much. It's such an American thing.
I can't relate because we don't have cable.
No, we don't have TV either.
How do you play your video games then?
I mean,
Sorry,
I was actually going to explain myself there, but I thought, no, I'm not going to.
I'm just pimping you.
Knows what I mean. Yeah.
So we're on to 7. I
Yeah.
threw Bloodborne in at number 7.
Oh.
Ooh.
This one, for a couple reasons. I'm a little bit of a Demon Souls purist, just a little.
Just a wee bit.
In my mind, that will still be forever the best Souls game that has and will ever exist. The Souls series kind of lost me after number 2 just because I feel like they said, oh, hey, great, this is doing really well. People love Dark Souls 1, so let's do more of that. And they actually hit that limit of too much of a good thing is actually a bad thing. There was just too much in Dark Souls 2. And I never even got around to finishing it. It's just, it became tedious and it wasn't fun. So when Bloodborne came out, I was kind of skeptical thinking, okay, they're going to just make it easier and easier. But in fact, they actually went back to the original roots. And I feel like this game was just as difficult, if not more difficult, than Demon Souls. And they kind of reinvigorated my passion for the Souls series because of how difficult they made it. And just that whole Victorian era London style setting was really good.
Yeah, that the aesthetic of that game was amazing. It just looked so good as you were playing through it. And all the different locations to visit, just
Well, and how intricately built that world was.
yeah. But that's what was missing from Dark Souls 2. Again, that's what they took out.
Yeah, they had some of it, but it was really convoluted. It was really difficult to get from one spot to the other.
Yeah, but on Dark Souls 1, you could kind of go from one place to another place with loads of secret routes and stuff, and it was just that was really clever. That was really clever. Because I remember you telling me about that when it originally come out, and then I played it and I understood how all the intricacies worked, and it really drew me in. And I love the Souls series now. I've played all of them.
You and I played through Dark Souls pretty much side by side, and that's the way that I experienced Demon Souls. As I played through it with somebody else side by side, and we were chatting about it as we were playing through it. And Bloodborne did that for me again, and I think one of the best things they did was remove the ability to block, because in the Souls games, it's too easy to just get a really big shield and just stand there and take abuse and wait for the opening. But this game, there were some bosses that took me probably 40 or 50 attempts to beat. And there's still that little glimmer of hope that never quite dies out. You're like, you know what? I'm going to get him this time. And there were some bosses that you had to fight your way back down to them through tons of super difficult enemies just to get your ass kicked by the boss for the 40th time. It's like, all right, well, let's fight our way back down there again. But when you finally beat him, there's no other level of satisfaction I've ever felt in any other game than I've felt beating some of the Bloodborne bosses.
Yeah, I'm with you there. There was one where it was inside a church, and I think it was a big beast or something from the vicar turns into the beast.
Yep.
And that took me so many goes, and I was ecstatic when I beat it.
There were a couple that I will admit I got so frustrated to the point where I just called in help and had somebody come in and help me with it.
Oh, I think you have to sometimes. You have to admit defeat. You just.
Well, what's even cooler, though, and not to spend too much time on it, is that they have secret bosses that you could play through the whole game and never come across. I think there's 4 or 5 great bosses or great gods that you could just completely miss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're super difficult.
I don't even think you need to beat the cleric beast at the start, do you?
No, you can go through the whole game without beating the cleric beast.
Yeah. And I stressed over him for ages.
Just
looking back, he was quite easy compared to the others.
What was your number 7, Jess?
Minish Cap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think if just going forward, if something is on our list, if somebody names something and it's on your list also, just say where it is so we don't come back to it.
Okay, Captain Rulebook.
Captain what?
He says halfway through.
Rulebook.
Well, I'm just... Fine. I won't say anything anymore.
No, but it's true. You basically covered it all for Minish Cap.
Yeah.
It just added like a really cool dynamic to, and really made you think, because sometimes when there are some points where I was like, I have no idea what to do, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I can get small. That's a thing that I should be doing.
Get small.
Yeah.
Dan, did Bloodborne make your list?
It did.
What number?
Bloodborne is 4th.
Ooh.
I very much enjoyed Bloodborne.
Ooh. Tom, what's your number 7?
Number 7 was Emily is Away. Don't know if you guys have played that.
Emily.
No.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
A 20-minute game made your list?
Yeah. Because
that game was
just
fantastic.
It was just so bizarre. And it just was massive bursts of nostalgia the entire time I was playing it.
We
the
forgot
whole game,
to even talk about it on the show.
Yeah, the whole game is played in an emulated, a simulated version of Windows XP with AOL Instant Messenger. And it's just this terribly accurate and cringeworthy attempt at just restoring this adolescence. If you're familiar with chat clients from the 90s, just instant messaging with your mates and stuff. And you're just talking to this girl called Emily over 5 different college years via the instant messenger, and it unfolds the story from there, and you have to choose your response each time. And there's a love interest with Emily, and then that changes, and you get different endings depending on what happens. But all the sounds are there from the getting messages, or when a friend comes online or offline, you can change your profile picture and stuff like that. It's all kind of
That is
weird,
amazing.
Those
It's a
fine
blast
details
from the past, man. It
make it so weird. Yeah,
it was really weird because there was a stark difference in my friends. It was either you were on AOL Instant Messenger or you were on MSN Messenger, and most of people that I hung out with were on AOL Instant Messenger, so like that's what I spent so much time on. But
See, we had the opposite.
It's
It was
MSN
super
over
rare
here.
if someone, it would be weird if
Yeah.
someone was on AOL versus MSN.
yeah. I was on MSN too, but it's just there's all this jealousy and awkwardness and confusion and teenage insecurity and stuff.
well,
like,
because
That's amazing.
it did a great
it's-
job of harnessing that. You can't really tell somebody's intention over text.
yeah.
It's like, well, does she mean this
Exactly.
or does she mean that?
Yeah, and then when someone's writing and you get that message at the bottom that says Eric
Yeah.
is typing ... and then it will say Emily is typing. Then Emily is deleting because she's changing what she wants to reply to because what you've asked her is something more sensitive or provokes a more complicated response. It's really cool. I would recommend it because it's only 20 minutes long.
amazing.
40 minutes, probably 20 to 40 minutes.
It's free, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pay what you want.
Yeah. It's worth
So.
20 minutes of your... No, it's about...
It's about 40 minutes, I reckon.
yeah, and it's just pressing... To get yourself to type, you just mash on the keyboard. That's it.
But I like that it emulates that tactile input. Kind of forces you to participate more rather than just read. It's a cool game.
I forgot about that one.
Add it to your list.
No, my list is complete. Maybe next year. Dan, what's your number 7?
My number 7 is Crash Team.
Oh, okay, we've already covered that.
We have.
Number
Okay.
6, Oddworld, New and Tasty.
Oh,
Oh,
I forgot
Did I
about
play
that.
is
did I
that
play
on
that
our
this
list?
year or last year? Or
Wait,
the
was
year
that
before?
this year? I think
I
it was,
don't know.
I think it was this year.
Was it?
Oh dear, please.
What?
What?
Oh no, it came out July 22nd, 2014. Never mind, I have to delete that
thought
off
it
my
was 2014.
list. Okay, sorry. I spent a lot of time
Oh.
on that.
My list
did you
is
play it that
prepared.
yet?
I played it
done.
when it first came out. Shit,
Okay.
shit the bed. My whole list just got thrown off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just
I
quickly. Oh, you can't even go back in time to play it.
I'm gonna readjust all my numbers. I'm gonna put Emily is away at that number then.
Woo.
Yeah, that's where I'm gonna put Emily away. Emily's away will be my number 6, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
Well, my whole list is fucked up now.
You could just shift Emily's away up to like 9, move everything else down.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Whatever.
What's your number 6, Jess?
Mass Effect 3.
You.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
That was out of left field.
You know, I played this at the beginning of last year for the first time because I just totally passed over it when it came out.
Did you play the other two?
No, so I kind of like
So you
jumped
played
in
3 but not
towards the
more than
end.
2.
Yeah,
Oh, come on, Jess.
no, I
There's
really like
there's
it.
a series you should play back to back. It's Mass Effect because what you do actually matters.
I played number 2 and got to the end and went, yeah, I'm done.
Really,
Yeah.
I love the Mass Effect games. They were so good.
She was amazing, apparently.
I didn't think I was gonna like it, but I really did. Maybe number 2 will be on my list for next year, and I can
Then you
listen
can
to
put
Eric.
it
I
one.
heard, I heard 2 is very good. I heard 2 was the best one.
was
I've heard
Who
both.
has the best digital camel toe ever?
Yes, it does.
What's her
Right.
name? Miranda?
Yes.
Ooh, nice butt.
Oh.
She's got a nice
Because
butt.
that's the thing too, like with the relationships, I know that you can bring over your character so you can get a bunch of different options for building relationships and stuff, but that's something that I spent a lot of time on It was
there's
ridiculous.
a guy called Thane in Mass Effect 2 who's like one of the best characters, but he can die. If he dies at the end, he isn't in 3 and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So,
because isn't it with Ashley or him?
no,
you
that's
bring over?
Cade, and that's in the first one.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
Sorry,
I
Eric.
played matchmaker the entire game.
I can't
Can't
stand
wait
that.
to snore at your next one.
Yeah, probably.
You probably will. Oh, wait, no, you won't. But I'm sorry, Jess. Continue. I would love to hear more about Mass Effect 3. I'm sitting up,
That's
proper
it.
posture,
That's it.
eyes focused on your picture,
She's done. That's it.
ears
Fine.
properly adjusted.
Adjusted.
You can adjust your ears.
Continue. Yeah, all you have to do is blow your nose.
I wish I'd known that.
I would love to hear more about this engaging universe and how your decisions actually have no real effect on the outcome of the game.
I like the ending though.
I meant the ending of 3.
Yeah, but you'll have the epilogue.
3 full games of nothing but decisions that actually have no effect.
But they do.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
I feel like I'm sensing a little resentment towards this game.
Hostility.
It just never.
Hostility.
It just never hooked me. I mean,
The end of Mass Effect 2 is so good. That's one of the best endings of a game ever.
everyone dies and the series is over.
They can do.
Oh, good.
That's because your decisions matter, Eric, you see.
No, they don't.
They do. We could do this all day.
Tom, what's your number 6?
Actual sunlight.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you, Dan?
Mine is Batman Arkham Knight.
Oh, the PC version, right?
Yes, of course.
Really? PC version? Christ, I would never expect that from you.
No. Don't be silly.
Oh.
PS4.
Oh, good. Oh, thank God. I almost had a heart.
Yeah, if you get past all of the bad press this game had because of the PC version, it is fantastic.
I did play a little bit of it at a friend's house and enjoyed it.
Really?
Oh, I bet that hurt you, Eric, to enjoy that game.
It did.
I've actually written in one of my paragraphs in this article, and no matter what Eric will tell you, it isn't just a matter of hammering the square button to get through the entire game.
It is. It is.
It's also
square.
triangle as well.
Occasionally brush the triangle button.
Yeah, that's right.
I still don't enjoy the combat in those games. The
love
world
it.
in there was super cool. I really liked the concept of the Batmobile, the open world feel of it. It felt really cool, and it looked great.
Yeah, it did look fantastic. It really did. But they actually really integrated the Batmobile. Like gets a lot of flack. Yeah, there's quite a few tank battle things, but you actually have to use the Batmobile for the puzzles and stuff, which is really clever. Like, it's got a grappling hook, and you have to pull up an elevator so Batman can get down there and stuff. It's really well done.
Oh.
And
Well-
if you've played both the others in the series, which I have a lot, then
Is it
this,
one of those
this wraps
that
up
you-
the storyline?
Is it one of those that you have to have played the previous ones in order to understand?
No,
Okay. Well, maybe if it's
it
cheap.
would help to play Arkham Knight, but
Maybe if
Arkham
it's cheap, I'll pick
Arkham
it up.
City. Sorry,
Arkham City or Arkham Origins?
no, that's the prequel. Just don't bother with that one.
Okay.
It's all right.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Maybe I'll give it a go, Dan.
My God.
I may be willing to switch my mind on that, but you'll never switch my mind on Mass Effect.
Fair enough.
We've skipped Mass Effect. We're done.
I want to hear more about it, though.
I feel like we should just do an entire show on it.
Let's just start a Mass Effect podcast.
Yeah.
Done.
And it's just nothing but an hour and a half of snoring.
You really hurt this.
Number 5 for me, since I don't have a number 6, was The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Shut up, mine too. Twinsies.
No, the is different than the Get your sound effects right, Tom.
All right.
God damn it.
So
Just go back in the corner.
I'm
He's still learning.
super late to the game on this one because I really enjoyed the Ocarina of Time when it came out, but I think having to have the memory expansion port for the Majora's Mask kind of drove me away from getting it because I think at the time I didn't understand it and just kind of moved on to other things, or it just came out and I didn't play it. I don't have an excuse.
You're special.
So when they announced it for the 3DS alongside the new 3DS Majora's Mask edition, I said, well, this is the best time for me to play this thing. So I bought a new console just to play this game. And man, am I happy I did.
See, I've tried to play it multiple times, Majora's Mask. I just can't get away with it.
It's a very different... It's a stark departure from previous Zelda games, and you have to go into it knowing this isn't a traditional Zelda game. And
See, but I found it, I didn't find it that different.
well, the concept that everything that you do can and will be undone it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I
but I thought
got
it
literally to the end of a dungeon and ran out of time.
Yeah. You have to be very cognizant of the time.
Which I really liked, and I really enjoyed all the puzzles with the time, like doing one thing and then going back, and then like you picked up an item, so then you can use this and that, and I thought it was really good. But I failed for a while to realize that I should be transferring my rupees to the bank, so that kind of sucked a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the first technically kind of roguelike game where if you look at games like Rogue Legacy...
Excellent game, that.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
I think I might have played that in 2015. I can't even remember.
That was on my... You know what? That's what I'm putting in at number 6. Yeah.
I thought you were putting Emily.
No. No. Maybe I just won't have
Oh,
a
yeah,
number 6.
that list that was set in stone, Eric. Remember
I know,
that?
right?
It's harder to add one to the middle than just tack them onto the back end. God. No, it was definitely a game you have to approach with a bit of strategy, and quite honestly, a strategy guide that helps walk you through it, because there's a lot of stuff that you can miss, and there's the intricacy of which you have to do certain things to unlock certain items is just mind-blowing. And I actually became really addicted in trying to get all of the masks.
Yeah.
I did manage to get all of them, but it took a long time.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. This is definitely one. I don't know if I would ever go back and play through it again, just because it can be quite tedious, but it's definitely something that's worth having played.
See, I loved, though, that Epona is back.
Epona.
That made me so
She
happy.
is.
Epono.
Porno?
Epona.
Epono.
E-porno?
Epono. Epunto.
Oh,
You can't shoot Epona, though. That's what pisses me off.
Shut
Yeah,
up.
that's what these games need.
Just more horse murder.
Yeah.
I still don't forgive you for the Red Dead fiasco.
Good. I'm not apologetic.
Want to see what's going to happen when the inevitable sequel comes out?
We will all play it, and all of your horses will die.
It's not
Especially
happening.
if that game's got multiplayer. Wow.
I think Jess doesn't play games with me anymore because of that.
Basically.
Oh.
Killed it. Killed my trust.
Tom, what's your number 5?
it's Popular Croy.
Oh, yeah.
Wonderful.
Alongside the...
Oh, get it? All that good stuff.
I have a lot of really obnoxious sounds, don't I?
I think Get It was my favourite Ericism of 2015.
Yeah.
Get it?
Which was spawned by me saying that Ni no Kuni was only £3. Should I buy it?
Get it? Oh, dude, that is good. I forgot about
I've never heard a man go so high pitched. It was practically ultrasonic.
that. Dogs the neighborhood over turned their attention.
Sitting outside of your house.
We must get it. Any other reasons why that I didn't cover?
No, not really. Like, the story's really picked up since the third book. I'm probably not as far into it as you are, but I can just tell this is a great game that I can confidently have as number 5 on my list.
There are some, depending on how far you are, there's some elements in the final story that could be really, really awesome if the game didn't have such a kiddie feel to it, where they could really delve into some dark material. I kind of wish they would, but knowing that it's this little whimsical, childlike game, I don't think they're going to.
Yeah, no, totally.
But it's still fun. I wish they would put it out on a more accessible platform.
Yeah, are you playing it on your Vita?
No, I'm playing it on the actual UMD.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I don't even think it's on Vita. They don't have a digital copy of it.
Yeah, it really slipped under the radar, so definitely worth playing.
I only bought it because it was the first JRPG that really came out on the PSP, and I was just itching for something to play.
Yeah, and one thing I would say about that is it's got a really nice functionality when it comes to saving. You can kind of just kill the system and it will, you can save on the fly, which is really nice.
Which more portable JRPGs need.
Exactly. So, especially at that time.
Dan, what's yours?
Mine, sorry, Jess, is Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's on the list. That's fine.
Sorry,
that was
it's
my
not
number one.
Of course.
Ooh.
I expected nothing less. But, Fallout 4, it's basically Fallout 3, but a bit shinier.
Fallout didn't even make my list.
Really?
Nope.
No, mine.
Like, I still love it. It's just the same old Bethesda game. Explore, look for things, shoot things in the face, find crap loot, get too much loot, have to drop loot.
But now you can scrap it and spend so much time making these stupid settlements.
I like the Elder Scrolls games so much better, though. I think that's why this didn't make my list.
But just think about how much better those games are going to be now because of this one.
Well, obviously, and then that game will make my list.
To it.
Yeah, I actually wrote roll on Elder Scrolls 6 at the end of this paragraph as well. So,
oh, really?
Yeah.
I know we've talked it to death, but like the one, I talked about this, but the one teeny tiny complaint was getting too much on the hype train for the Pip-Boy, because I was sad that it didn't work as well as I thought it was going to.
Yeah, when you could have just used your iPad.
Well, that's what I usually. I don't play with it. Like, it's
I love
way
using the
too
second
awkward.
screen.
No, yeah, but the Pip-Boy itself, it's
it's dumb.
Super awkward, and you can't ever turn your phone off when it's in there, so the battery dies pretty quickly. But I do really like the second screen option that you can have.
Number 4 for me, Psychonauts.
My number 3.
Ooh, give me the shivers. I've played it before. I've just never played it through to completion. And this game is the tantamount for platforming of the PS2 generation, easily.
See, from a platforming aspect, I don't think it's held up that well.
I think if you go back and play some platforming games from that era, they were pretty rough around the edges. And this one was pretty good. Yeah, the controls were a little wonky and the camera got a little goofy. But in terms of this is a platforming game. I mean, at its core, it's a platforming game. There was so much other stuff around it that completed the game that I think it rockets it up to the top of platforming lists of the PS2 era. Just the goofy worlds that you get to dive into. You'd never seen anything like that before.
Yeah, the uniqueness of it is what really makes it stand out, isn't it? I mean, there's nothing else like it on the market. Like, you're going inside people's minds with all the crazy things they have in there to try and fix them, basically. To usually get a small item to progress through a doorway or something like that.
Well, I think what really drove it home, too, is we finished this game, all of us, and then Well, actually, no.
Yeah,
Jess
all of
didn't.
us.
Sorry.
It's actually
Almost.
on my honorable mentions that 2016 is the year that I finished Psychonauts.
Tom, did you finish it?
I did, yeah.
Okay. I think it was really interesting that we finished this, and then shortly thereafter, they announced Psychonauts 2. Like 2 weeks after.
It was all because of us.
Probably.
It was.
Those guys over there at Factory Seal, they're really loving this game. Let's make another one for 4 people.
There's 4 idiots.
Yeah. I think the most striking thing about this that really connects with me is, like Dan said, it's basically a giant caricature of several stereotypical personality types. I mean, you have the self-doubting black sheep, the hopeless romantic, the melodramatic narcissist, and the paranoid conspiracy theorist that you know somebody in some capacity who is like that, so you can relate to these people, but it's done on such a scale that's just blown out to ridiculous levels that it just makes it so much fun. Jess, what's your number 4?
Pokemon Snap.
Pokemon
Oh,
Snap. Isn't
yeah.
that the one that Matt Buell sent you?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. A game about taking pictures of Pokemon made it to number 4 on your list.
Yes. And I think it was a
Because
huge
it's easy
part
to finish.
of nostalgia. Shut up.
Is there even an ending to it?
Yes.
Yeah, you got all the pictures,
Yeah.
all 150 photographs.
You ran out of film? That's the end?
No, but that freaking happens so much. Like, I don't know if it's just because I'm used to the infinite pictures that you can take with your cell phone, kind of not really at all, but I was so mad when I ran out of film. But no, I really, I loved playing it, and I know it's super small in comparison to some of the other games, but it's just so much fun. Like, so much fun. All you do is hang out with Pokemon the entire time and take their picture. And they have little things that you have to do and little tricks and stuff, so...
Kind of sounds like playing this as an adult is a bit creepy.
No.
But Jess, have you seen the new Pokemon game that's coming out for your smartphone?
Sorry?
Have you seen the new Pokemon game that's coming out for your smartphone?
No.
It's real world Pokemon.
It's awesome.
They did that on Google Maps for a while where you could stumble upon Pokemon.
Like
Basically,
AR?
on this game,
Yeah.
it will tell you where Pokemon are near you, and you have to go and get them.
That's so cool.
I might actually
I wish
play
I hadn't
that
told you
too.
now. Won't see you again.
Tom, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Snatcher for the Mega CD.
Ooh, that's the Hideo
Yeah.
Kojima game, right?
Yeah, the dystopian adventure title. Yeah, I just played it on holiday and it was really good. The story was great, and the way it kind of broke the fourth wall a bunch of times. And this game is mid-90s, so it kind of explored a whole field of mechanics that I hadn't really played before on games of that age. And it had really good, pretty good voice acting, kind of like Beneath a Steel Sky, kind of good voice acting for the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And yeah, just nice art style, kind of Akira anime style. And yeah, worth playing through, definitely. Really cool game.
Nice.
So
Can't say as though I've played it, so I can't really relate.
that's fair enough.
It's on my list. That big list of games I'll
old-
probably never get to.
Good old backlog.
Yeah. I like to have a front log. Dumb. Dan. Dan, what's your number 4?
It's Bloodborne.
Oh, okay. We already covered that. Way to go putting it at number 4.
Thanks.
I thought I actually would have been higher for you.
No.
Number 3. Here we go. We are in the top 3.
4 is pretty high, though.
4 is. It's honorable mention. Final
what's number
Fantasy 8 was my number 3.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yes. because
Very good choice. Very good choice, though.
well, for a couple reasons. I've played this game multiple times before, but this is the first time in which I actually decided to play it with a very analytical mind. Usually with Final Fantasy games, because they're so big, by the time you get to the end of the game, you've forgotten some of these minor plot points that actually have a pretty strong driving force into the ending events. So this time, it's the first game that, make fun of me if you will, but I actually took notes while playing it.
You were a huge conspiracy theorist for
Exactly,
this one.
and that was the other thing, too, is that we all approached the game in a different capacity. Kevin decided to play through as a low-level runner. He gained no levels on any of his characters the entire game. I played through trying to prove the fact that Squall died at the end of Disc 1, which I, at the end of the show, admitted, okay, no, he's probably not dead. Jess gave up after 20 minutes and dropped out. And then I think Derek just played through kind of as our control, playing the game as basically as possible, focusing mainly on one aspect of magic or something like that. But it was really interesting to actually analyze it and dig deeper into this world as opposed to just plowing through and be like, yeah, this game's fun. I still maintain that Final Fantasy VIII is one of, if not the best Final Fantasy out there.
Yeah, I think it's my favorite Final Fantasy. Always has been.
But we
Good
spent
Christmas.
4 huge episodes talking about that. So if you want to put those up in an article. Jess, what was your number 3?
Link Between Worlds.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
There's a lot of Zelda on this list this year.
I know, I apologize.
That's a,
So yeah, I've been waiting to get that, and I'm gonna pick it up before I go to Australia because that is the perfect thing to do on the plane.
you can
It's
beat
so
it in
good.
one plane ride easily. It's super good.
And I don't think we've talked about the ending, and I'm not going to, other than, like, I went in, like,
Well-
ugh, I know the ending, and then...
I
no.
remember you telling me that because I told you you'll never see the ending coming. It's got just the best twist, and you were confident that you knew the ending of that game
I
going
was
in.
so cocky.
And Derek was the same way. I gave him the game to play, and he's like, yeah, I know exactly what happened. And he came out, he was playing in his room when he was living with me, and he came out and he goes, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
It was so good. So good.
Spoilers.
There's no spoilers other than it's a good twist.
Now I
And
know
you're
there's
not
a
going to
twist.
see it coming.
We've told,
I knew there was a twist, and I still didn't see it coming.
Yeah. So good.
Okay.
Tom, what was your number 3?
Number 3 was Rayman Legends.
What?
Oh.
Rayman Legends is an excellent game.
Rayman Legends is so good, and the reason it's so high is because it's the only game I've been playing co-op with my girlfriend, and every time we play until 2 a.m, and just one more level, and it's so addictive, so much fun. There's like all these music levels and stuff which are really good.
Music levels are
Those
absolute
are
genius.
Just so fun, yeah, and running away from fire or like all the water levels are cool, and it's just a great game. We have so much fun playing it, and we're still playing it now.
I think that's the important thing, though, is that it's by itself as a single player game. Like, yeah, it's good, but you find somebody to play it with, and that just instantly ratchets up the entertainment value.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
Christy's the same way with Yoshi's Woolly World. She'll have a blast playing that by herself, but when we play it together, it's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. And like my girlfriend doesn't really play that many games, so when we kind of played this one and really enjoyed it, it was just really cool to play that cooperatively.
That's awesome.
Dan, what was your number 3?
My number 3 is Psychonauts.
Aw, that's a good number 3.
That's high.
I'm glad that that's that high on your list because that's a game that I suggested. I feel like your list is full of suggestions from me this year.
Wait until you hear
Yeah.
number 1.
Where would
I'm gonna
be
shit
that,
my
Eric?
pants.
Oh, I'm going to get this brick ready to push out.
Oh my god.
Get it?
That
I'm going to
happened.
shit a brick.
Yeah, I got it.
Get it?
Yeah, we got it. Cheers, man.
Get it? What are we on to? Number 2? Oh, man. Prepare yourselves. My number 2 is Chrono Trigger.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah. My list is
well-deserved spot.
full
I
of
feel.
games I probably should have played a long time ago. This game, I'm even later to the party than Majora's Mask, but I'm going to go with the old, I wanted to let it ferment a little bit before I played it.
Okay. It does get better with age.
It does, but I really don't have an excuse as to why I never played it. I never played it. I don't know why. But I think maybe the reason I didn't go back and play it was because I tried playing Chrono Cross, and that game was such a hot pile that I figured, well, the prequel's got to be just as terrible.
They're actually just they share the name, but they've got nothing in common.
Which is unfortunate. But there's so much that this game does well. And when you look at the team that's behind it, it's phenomenal that this quality of game came out and I never played it.
No.
And it's upon completion, I went, yep, this is easily one of my favorite RPGs of all time now. And
I felt the exact same way. I played it about 3-4 years ago for the first time, maybe, and I just finished it. I was like, that was just so good.
It was. It's one of those games that I'll probably try to play through at least once every year or two, just to continue playing it, because it's so unique and it does so many things right. Especially in regard to time travel, that I just super enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did.
How it has an effect through the different things. It's just so cool.
Yeah. And the music, oh my God, the music.
Yeah, it's a
So
fantastic soundtrack.
Jess, what's your number 2?
Skyward Sword. Last Zelda game, I promise.
Man.
Wow.
I know. 4 of them?
This podcast was sponsored by Zelda.
Did you complete it?
Yes, everything that's on my list I completed.
Wow. Wow. I'm proud of
Yeah.
you.
I'm with her there, though, because Skyward Sword is fantastic.
I do need to get around to that. The 3D Zelda's kind of tapered off for me after Twilight Princess. I just did not enjoy that game.
I
Really?
love Twilight Princess. But that Twilight Princess HD is coming out as well.
I'll probably play through it again then.
But Skyward Sword, because you've got the Wii Motion Plus with the accurate sword play, it just puts a whole new dimension to it, and it's just so fun.
Yeah.
But I really liked how it didn't feel gimmicky. Like,
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It actually is integrated into everything you do,
yeah.
and it's like
It
even
requires it,
there's-
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's even one boss, and he puts his hand up, and he kind of tracks where you're going with your sword, and you have to kind of try and trick him so you
Trick
can
him.
hit him.
It's so good.
Really good. It's really clever.
Wow.
And
That is
then-
on my list of games to play in 2016.
Very good.
Do it!
Do it!
Do it.
You guys need to work on your falsettos. Your
Oh my God,
your upper
choir boy.
registers. Tom, what's your number 2?
All in Jazz Club.
Show
It's
choir.
it's Rocket League.
Oh,
Mine too.
damn it.
Yeah. Rocket League. It's the
I'm gonna-
Jeeves Mobile.
I'm going to spoil my number 1.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Rocket League, number 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
It
best
a
made
great
game.
my
one.
honorable mentions.
Well, you didn't
What?
play it all year.
I played 81 minutes of it.
You're really not a good person.
No, we just got it.
Yeah,
Like
You're sacked.
on
We'll see you later.
the 27th, I think.
Play
So-
it.
So wait,
Used to
Rocket
it a
League
little bit more.
is your number 2 as well, Dan?
Yes.
And it's my number 1.
Just so much fun. I must have dumped like hundreds of hours into that game, and it was free on PS Plus.
Especially for as much as I hate soccer.
Yeah, me too.
I cannot believe how deep this game got its hooks into me. I mean, I can't even stomach watching soccer on TV for a few minutes.
Really?
Oh, no, I despise it. Even when World
Crazy.
Cup fever was going around, I wanted nothing to do with it.
You need to get your shit together.
No way.
No, he doesn't.
You need to ask yourself some seriously searching questions.
Seriously.
Like, why do people like
Unless
this
it's got
game?
rocket boosters and cars, we're not interested, right, Eric?
Yeah.
See, Tom and I agree on things, and we're always right. So just saying.
I think what was so
Go
good
Back when
about
you
this...
finished 100% of your games.
I think what's so good about this game is just how quick it was. It's 5-minute matches, but it's so fast-paced, so engaging that it's like, okay, just another match, just another match. And then they could have just left it at that and it would have been fine. But then the customization, I mean, a friggin' top hat and cash rocket boosters?
Did anybody get the Christmas items?
No, I didn't.
The Christmas rocket trail is just great.
Oh.
It plays like a Christmas jingle every time you go.
Yeah.
It does what?
It plays like a Christmassy jingle every time you move it. It's just excellent.
Did you play the Snow Day?
I didn't like the hockey.
I loved it. It was so fun.
It wasn't in the ranked listing, so I don't play that.
Oh, I've not played that.
Sorry.
This game, I think, amongst Dan and Tom and I, spawned some of the most ridiculous moments and phrases, too. It just elevate thine game. And,
there's a bit on one of the videos where Eric is about to score a goal and I come from nowhere and just knock it in. And he goes, "Oh my God, I hate you!"
the Jeeves Mobile, the Irish guy with a lisp.
Yeah.
yeah.
Such a good game. And I think what really sealed the deal for me was how much my daughter loved it too. She went through a phase of obsession where she's like, Rocket League? And then the music would come on and she'd stand there and she would just dance in front of it and then she'd just sit there and we'd play Rocket League together. And I recorded so many of the matches just because when she wanted to watch it and I didn't feel like playing or I didn't have time to play, I just play a recorded match for her. She loved it.
That was awesome.
So
that's cute.
I'll be the first one to hold my hands up because when I first played it, I was like, I'm not going to like this and just stop playing it.
I didn't. I did the same thing. I stopped playing it until Tom went, "Dude, you got to play Rocket League."
Yeah.
And then we told you about it, Dan, and you got back on board.
It's just you just find yourself wanting to play it more and more.
I don't really know what it is. I think it might be that it's really easy to pick up, fun to play, but impossible to master.
Yeah.
I mean, I've played hundreds of matches, if not thousands, and I still have matches where I suck.
But people are pretty badass at it. Like,
well, you're also 6 months late to the game.
Do you know what?
People are...
Enough of your attitude.
It takes a while to learn the aerial shots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm still not very good at that. Like, I've been trying to get out of the bronze ranks into the silver ranks for about the past month. And I just keep going up and then back down.
Yep.
And it's driving me crazy. I get into silver, right? And then as soon as I get into silver, I have a string of bad luck and have 3 matches where I go back down. I'm like, no.
And it doesn't just drop you a little bit. It drops you back to the beginning of bronze. It's terrible. I'm excited to see where they're going to go with it because Psyonix has really been throwing a lot of weight behind it. And if they continue to support it the way that they have, I could see this still being a game I play a lot in 2016.
Yeah. And
they keep getting new items from games and stuff like Portal and Abe and stuff like that. And it's been really good.
Don't get too excited about just cosmetic DLC, but I've bought 2 or 3 of their packs already, mainly because I got the game for free.
Yeah.
Fair.
So let's get to the number ones here. Jess, we already know what yours is.
Fallout.
Tom, what's yours?
I was super late to the party, but my top was The Last of Us Remastered.
Oh, that's a good choice.
Yeah. It
That
really
game
lived
has so
up
many
to everything.
feels.
It's
So many
good.
feels, man.
It's one that I refuse to play a second time.
Even though your daughter's named after her?
Yep, and when we have our next kid in July, it's going to be a boy, and we're going to name him Joel.
Yeah.
Are you really?
No.
Yeah.
We had Ellie's name picked out before that game came out.
I was playing through the intro scene of that game, and then girlfriend was kind of in and out in terms of she was watching, but also reading her book, and then slowly started watching more and more. And then in the end, we just played the whole thing together. and again theorizing what's going to happen. And
Yet she
just
looked up
not
the
in-
ending.
She would look up little spoilers every now and again, but then I managed to get her to stop doing that. And then, yeah. And then that final
do that,
cutscene
don't
was
they?
just brilliant. I love the way it ended. It was just really cool.
Did you go back? Like, have you played it on what is
Oh.
the hardest difficulty? The survival?
I didn't. I jumped back in to a couple of key scenes because I really enjoyed playing them. I wanted to see if I could do them a bit differently. But I also really liked the DLC Left Behind.
That was really good.
Really
I
cool.
haven't actually played.
I
the
haven't
DLC.
played that.
It expands
they
really
do it.
heavily upon some of the key elements of what drove Ellie
Yeah.
in the game.
You
Is it
guys should definitely
before?
play it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's while Joel is like out of action and you just control Ellie for about 2
Oh,
hours.
that's cool.
Yeah.
But it
So-
jumps back in time.
Yeah, true.
Because you play a little bit of the time during the time that Joel is in the mall out of action. And then
Like, is that when it's snowing?
yeah. And then you have these flashbacks to when you were with Riley.
Oh.
It's really
That's
cool.
her friend, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't played for a while.
The one where
about
they
two-
said that we're just gonna, they both got bit and we're just gonna
Yeah.
die together.
Yeah.
Dan, what was your number one?
Oh, brace yourself, Eric. You ready?
Here comes the brick.
It's Rogue Galaxy.
Yes.
Oh.
Oh man, that makes me
What
proud.
a fantastic game this is.
Oh man,
My
I'm so
God.
proud of you. If I could hug you, I would.
Jeez.
And this was
Jeez.
only, like, was it a month ago that you picked it up?
Oh, but
Yeah.
I've been playing it for the past month, and I
Yeah, no,
finished
that's
it yesterday.
awesome.
Was my enthusiasm about this game unfounded in the least?
No, it's so good. Everything
Oh,
about the
God.
characters, the customization system, the exploration, the levels. It's just
That's awesome.
so good. And the final boss battle, Eric, is awesome.
Yes.
I've got to buy this now.
I was so panicking all the way through that I was going to die because in this boss battle, each of your characters has to fight alone against an element of the boss.
Yep.
So you usually have 3 characters in your party, but it strips it down, and then you have one character against one enemy, and it's just the characters that you haven't been using. You're just like, oh no!
And that
But-
that boss battle actually kind of garnered a little bit of hatred when it first came out because it was so difficult.
Yeah,
But
I
I
actually
liked
did.
it.
I actually did it with the first go, and I was like, yes.
Well, isn't it? How many characters do you have at the end? 8.
8 or 7.
It's like 7 or 8 one-on-one battles.
Yeah,
And if you haven't spent time properly leveling your characters up, you're going to be screwed.
and if you haven't got enough healing items as well.
It is really one of the best RPGs I've ever played.
I would
shit.
I would agree, but better yet, when you finish it, there is post-game content,
Yep.
which I
Jeez.
love so much.
Tom, you
Like
need to play this game.
Nino Cooney had this as well.
It's long
That's,
though. What was your finish time, Dan? Like 40?
30 hours.
30?
30 hours,
That's
yeah.
pretty good.
But
Did
I
you-
haven't. I've went and talked to Mio, who tracks your completion, and I've done hardly anything.
Yeah.
So
I think I put in 65 by the time I was done.
I like when that happens, though, that you have so much left to do.
yeah, there's
gonna-
there's
I'm
these
gonna
things
buy
called
that.
quarries, which are optional bosses, and I haven't beat one of them yet. I haven't done any of the optional Insectron kind of Pokemon capturing thing, and then there's still everything to do in building in the factory thing, and it's just
I'm so glad that made your list because I've been a huge supporter of that game for a long time, and I have really yet to find anybody else that's picked it up and enjoyed it as much as I did.
it's so underrated. It's so well put together. I mean, the storyline is fantastic all the way through.
Get it?
What do you say?
Overall, it was a good year for games. I had some honorable mentions: The Witcher 3, Fallout 4, Final Fantasy Typo HD, Actual Sunlight, and then Evo: The Search for Eden. Just goofy.
Oh my god, yeah.
But I did have one biggest letdown, and that was Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, it was a
I love
letdown
that
for me.
game, but it annoys me so much that it wasn't finished.
Well, the storyline just fell apart. And I think as time goes on, we'll discover more of what actually happened and to why. But it was just such a big disappointment. I still played through, I beat it, but I went, man, that's not what I wanted.
Nope.
Yeah. No, I got rid of it.
So,
my only honorable mention was The Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
oh, yeah.
I thought that was a great little game.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was beautiful.
I picked up Everybody's Gone to the Rapture for $11, so I'm looking forward to playing that soon.
Yeah, that's on my list for January to play. Definitely.
Oh, anything else before we wrap up here? I think it was a good year of games overall.
Yes, we played many.
I
We
agree.
did more. We did a fair few episodes this year.
We did, and we're going to do just as many this year. Anybody have any gaming ambitions for 2016?
To get up to being able to play expert level on Guitar Hero Live.
Ooh.
Oh.
Because it really knocks you back down when you... It's completely different from old Guitar Hero.
I think Suikoden 2 and Psychonauts are on my,
Well, if you would have played Psychonauts alongside of us,
list.
that'd already be done by now.
well, then I wouldn't have anything to talk about for 2016.
Well, we'll already have said, why didn't you talk about this last year?
Well, then I guess we've just ruined this conversation.
Yeah. My goal is to play Skyward Sword and finish Final Fantasy 12.
Oh.
Oh.
No, I've never finished.
You never know, there might be an HD remake this year.
Who knows?
My goal is to finish Ni no Kuni.
Oh, my God.
Do it!
That is a big goal.
Yeah.
Set some time away for that one, Tom.
Yeah.
I think there's one last thing we need to talk about, and this, I wasn't expecting to have to talk about it this soon, but our Patreon account has exploded thanks to you guys.
So good.
What us?
We have now crested... What did you say?
I said what us?
We have now crested 2 milestones to the point where we are now going to be giving away digital games every single week, starting next week. So we're going to be putting out on Facebook and Twitter some details on how to enter. It might be different every time, but if you're a Patreon supporter, you get additional entries into those, and Mr. Yam Ragan will be tracking those.
That's right.
And we will be drawing at random. So these first ones are going to be digital, so they will be PC. We would like to eventually get to giving away a physical copy, which that's only 2 more milestones, and then we get there. So we're halfway to physical games every single week.
That's crazy.
Which would be awesome.
I can't believe anybody donated to start with. It just blows my mind. So
That's nuts. But thank you for those of you who did. It's crazy to think about. Anything else, guys, before we wrap up for today?
happy 2016, everyone!
Get ready for some stupid
Yeah. I recommend going punting.
pleasure punting. Not
Punting with a big ball.
Dan, where can we find
But
you
a
on
big-
Twitter?
On the Twitter, you can find me at Frosted Sloth.
Jess, where can we find you?
At I Am a Jess.
Tom?
At Hyperjelly.
You can find me at Honest Pizza. We've got Factory Sealed at factory_sealed or facebook.com/factory sealed or our website, factory-sealed.com. If you want to donate to us on Patreon, we've got a lot of really cool rewards. Patreon.com/factory sealed. That's going to do it for today, guys. Good
Thank
list.
you for a wonderful 2015.
Yes. And thank you for putting together a list of games that you played and talking
Jolly
about
good.
it. Pip, pip, cheerio.
Get it?
Get it? So, if you want to share with us your favorite games, shoot them to us in an email. We'll read them. We'll talk about them. See how they match up with ours. We are going to be publishing articles alongside this show probably tomorrow or Tuesday.
You do realize that will be alongside the show.
Yeah.
What you just
Whatever.
said.
That's what I just said.
So you don't have to say the day.
Well,
It'll be published.
what if it's the first show that somebody's listening to and they don't know? Yeah. All right. We will see you all next week.